a system that I use when I'm drawing and I'm having a hard time, and usually I'm not having a hard time for very long, but sometimes I have a difficult bout with focusing and I can't focus correctly. I like to think about the Chairico. Philip Rustin always says the Chairico, the Chairico, the Chairico. He's like a New Yorker or whatever. And De Chirico, this dude paints like 7 things. He paints a tower, he paints a guy on a horse, and sometimes the guy is not on the horse. He paints a sun, he paints like seashells and stuff, and he paints like several types of sculptural motifs. So, I mean, like, even with that, you have a lot of stuff to work with. You can select each of those objects in the menu of your brain and say, okay, you can look at them as characters in a story. You can invent a story and then apply those characters into panels, or you can shrapnel the paneling idea and just put all those things into a story. A lot of painters do that. So the whole scene is the story, and the way that the objects look at each other or are around each other, quote unquote, tells the story. I don't like that. I've never liked that. I don't like pictures that are like that. I'm actually very anti romanticism in almost every way. I'm like, this is something I don't like about myself. I don't have a concrete spiritual foundation for what I think is meaningful and not meaningful. So you end up in kind of like an anything goes schizo reality where people from the outside just kind of look at you as this person who has a habit and not as a person who has a distinct, clear sight line towards a divine truth or a divine nature, something you want to portray or obtain. I don't agree with that stuff. I think that people like Terry Winters agree with those things. I mean, I don't know if this is still true or if it was maybe bullshit all along, but Terry Winters always says stuff in his videos or talks about how Cezanne says that the goal of painting is to develop a new optics of nature. And he always says like that. He's like, a new optics of nature, and I still think that that is the task. So, I mean, even there, it's like, what are we talking about? Nature? Okay. And he could probably give me a clear definition of that. And all I know, all I'm going to know while Terry Winters is giving me a concrete definition of that, I'm going to understand that I'm not drawing and that he's probably not drawing. And we're just talking about something totally speculative like that. And I don't remember what I was talking about. De Chirico. Oh, so yeah, I'm not romantic about anything that I do. I just think it's part of a habit. And maybe this is actually like a kind of Kierkegaard way to be, because you don't actually see yourself becoming the Blue Knight of Faith, but maybe you become the Blue Knight of Faith, like unconsciously, like you're paying into that debt in the beyond by just doing it and not actually seeing the fruits of it in a way that makes sense to you. Or that's just like mental illness and masochism. So I think you can, either one of those is going to take you somewhere. I think that it's best to mix things like that. And obviously, whenever I'm drawing, I'm not thinking about any of this really, anyways. The types of thoughts I'm having when I'm drawing are like, okay, this is going to be a carrot, and the thing behind it is a triangle. The triangle could either be a big carrot or a pyramid. Does the pyramid have a door in it? Yes or no? Is there something in the door? Yes or no? Should I start a new drawing and draw it with the door and then draw it with a window? Should there be another carrot in the window? Should the carrot on the outside of the pyramid be trying to get into the pyramid? It's just like the things I'm doing when I'm drawing are like just very basic logical steps towards some kind of the like really, really abstract end goal. It's not something that you can quantify or qualify. Um, and so yeah, it's difficult for this to be your favorite thing to do because you're like locked inside of it, and it's hard to explain to other people until they're doing it. And even then, like if I was having a conversation with Terry Winters, like I said before, as soon as you're talking about stuff and you're not actually drawing anymore, you just enter this insane land of hypotheticals. And the really annoying thing is that I can't I can't say that that hypothetical talk doesn't actually do something to the drawing process and like the drawing mechanics as they exist in my head when I'm doing it unconsciously. So I want to believe that that kind of talk has no effect, but I really don't know. I really don't know. I think it's best to be open to things and then have the fucking balls and the will to close yourself off to stuff when you know you just need to do things and work on things and start making stuff, because that's you have to you have to physically sometimes shut people up from telling you what you're doing, so that you can enjoy exploring it, because you don't fucking know what you're doing and neither do other people. So that's why drawing is a very Kierkegaardian thing to do, because you have to curl up into a ball metaphorically and um, kind of be hostile in a certain way to everybody who tries to get into your little room